Good afternoon on this windy. It's not even really cold, but like it's windy. Trees are waving at us. The branches are waving at us. There's no leaves, unfortunately. Well, that's kind of good because they'd be all on the ground. But welcome again. This is Ron from the Real Talk Podcast.
And this is John, and welcome back to Real Talk Eastern Shore.
I got to tell you this morning, man, the wind was vicious. I kind of woke up at 4:30 this morning, and I go outside for like a minute because I was like, I'm going to smoke a cigarette real quick. And I was like, nope, let me go back to bed. Like, the wind was just terrible. Literally, there's still a couple leaves in the neighborhood, so like they, swirl around like it's like a small tornado and all that stuff. But it's been kind of brutal with the wind.
Yeah. Well, last week I remember we were going to decide to do it at my house, and then I looked at the weather. It's supposed to be like almost 60 or in the 60s this weekend, or at least today. And I was like, oh, let's do it back at your house. We'll do it outside. It'll be nice. Woke up this morning, same thing, wind. I'm like, son of a bitch.
We're almost to the land of we're not even going to do it inside anymore because like it's about to be spring.
Yeah.
And it's going to be nice outside, and why be inside? Enjoy the weather.
Except maybe next weekend. It's supposed to be rainy and 40.
Yeah, but it also said it was going to be 60 with no wind on Saturday. Last Saturday when we looked.
Yeah.
So
we'll see how it is.
We'll play it by ear.
Yeah.
And worst comes to worst, I don't mind traveling to Denton. The metropolis of Denton.
Yeah. Big old metropolis.
Yes, you still, you come to the Isle of Delmarva, the Isle of Delmarva. And you still live on the Isle of Delmarva.
I live on the Isle of
but
Delmarva.
you adventured on the Isle of Delmarva to get here. Mm-hmm. So that kind of worked out. Was the wind moving your car at all or anything like that?
On the road, on the ride here, a couple times you can feel it, just like a slight twist. As you're driving straight, you're on the wheel and it moves just a tiny little bit. I'm like, oh shit.
So what I like to do in the wind, depending on where it's kind of like hitting. So if I'm going against the wind, is that a dent on your car?
Yeah, that's old.
That's the first time I noticed it.
Oh.
I'm just letting you know.
Well, usually I park over there so you don't see it.
Yeah, you're parking facing us, not like on the side. Like, what'd you hit?
Something. I think a deer hit me. I forget.
That's a small deer.
No, it was a small deer.
I
was actually
really
on my way to work about a month or so ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it was early.
Oh, yeah?
Foggy. And I'm like, son of a... Damn it. I just kept driving. I'm like, I don't have time for this.
Yeah, it don't even really... you can see it, but it's just not like, that's like a door pop pretty much. You just pop it out.
Yeah, it's not worth going through insurance, paying that deductible just to get that fixed.
Exactly.
I'll wait till there's a bigger...
Did you see the deer after you hit it?
No, I saw it as it was about to hit it.
Wow. So, little story, tidbit. So, I was working. I was in Hebron, West Delmar. I was on a back road. It was like, I don't know, about 5:15, 5:20 in the afternoon. And I had like one more stop. So I'm going, traveling. I make my right on this road. I can't remember what the road was to save myself. So, like, I'm traveling, and it's woods all the way down. But, like, over to the left there's some houses, but not, like, clearance. It's like, you got a little bit of woods, and you see a house behind the woods or stuff like that. So, like, I'm going, and I'm like, okay, it's 50 miles an hour down here. I could probably go 90 because there's nobody around.
Uh-huh.
So, for some reason, I decide not to go 90. I'm going about 45. So I'm driving, and then I look to my right on my provisional, which is we're probably, I don't know, 100 foot, 200 foot. I see a deer come out.
Okay.
Then I see another deer come out. Then I see another. Like, they're all out. Next thing I know, by the time I get where these deers are, there must be at least 8 coming across. I nail one on the left side of the front of the truck. So it would be the driver's side. So when I hit him, it was crazy because I hit him because I kind of swerved a little bit, hit him. I'm watching him out of my left side of my driver's side window, and I'm watching him. And I've hit him. He's going down the road into this ditch on his side, kind of just going. And it was probably, I don't know, 80, 100 pound deer.
Mm-hmm.
Hit him. He goes. I stop real quick. There's another like 15 deer that come across after I hit him. I look at him. I'm like, damn, I must have killed him. Hit the brakes completely. This bad boy wants to get up, look at me, brush himself off, and roll out with his people. So then I look at the front of my truck. My headlights popped out. It's like sag. It's looking straight down at the ground. Literally, there's just wires holding, and like half the grill's gone. The what is it? The hood is bent in. The quarter panel's all messed up. Thinking, what do I do now? Should I call the cops? Because deer, you're supposed to report it.
Mm-hmm.
So call my guy, my boss. I'm like, yo man, I just hit a deer. He was like, it's gonna be dark in about an hour. I was like, yeah. He was like, just call him when you get back here. So, like, I still had another delivery. When I hit that deer, the delivery stop I had was literally probably like 300 foot away on the right-hand side. He's outside looking at me like I'm all, like, deranged and stuff. So I deliver my piece. I was like, I hit a deer. I'm sorry about that, all that noise. He was like, oh, that's normal. Someone always hits deer out here. I was like, okay, fine. So I'm rolling to get back to Milford before it gets dark because I got one headlight working. The other one's hanging like this, like straight south on the ground. And like, it was terrible. Like, I hated driving like that because I don't even know how I felt. I felt weird because I was more worried about, if it gets dark and I turn that light on, it's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
And then, people like to get pulled over with one headlight. So I was not feeling that at all. Not feeling that at all. So good times, you know what I mean? So definitely. So how was your week anyway? Besides that little dent that was happened 6 months ago.
Yeah, maybe 2 months. But
Okay,
anyway. No, it was pretty good. My daughter did something, made me feel like really small and at the same time big, and you'll understand this, and you'll see why. So, every father has a stud finder. Every person that uses tools pretty much has a stud finder.
Yeah.
And a lot of dads, they take it to themselves and go, beep, beep, beep. Oh, honey, look, I'm a stud. Whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was getting dressed for work. I was about to put on my shirt. My daughter walks in. She finds the stud finder in my closet where I have some tools pretty much on every floor, just in case. And she just puts it up to my stomach, shakes it a little bit. Daddy's not working. So, yeah. So
You are not a stud.
I'm not a stud according to my daughter.
Well, you're not a stud according to the stud finder.
Yeah.
Because it ain't go beep beep.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it would go beep beep if you push the button. She didn't push the button.
Well, I mean, you could have, animated it beep beep.
Yeah.
Real quick or something like that. Or
No, she was quick about it.
she was quick about it.
She's a little turd.
So the quick wit, is that you or your wife?
Both.
Both.
But her attitude definitely comes from my wife.
That I can believe. The last time I came over, I thought she was going to take, like,
Ooh.
what?
Oh, no, so something. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say. So, yeah, I mean, I could see her trying to, like, spin kick somebody coming in the door.
Yeah,
like,
she will.
She's that type of woman.
Yeah, don't you come in the house you're not supposed to? Spin kick.
Yeah, I mean, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. That's good, because you're more or less like, hey, how are you doing? What are you doing
Get out of
here?
my house.
Get out of my house. Oh, okay, you want to just watch TV? Come on. I'm playing PS5. Leave me alone.
Yeah. Oh, I got a story about that, too.
Oh, God, you got a lot of stories today.
Yeah, but you ever go to a pet store and buy something from there and it asks you, do you want to donate money to some pet charity?
Yeah.
You've done that, right?
Yeah.
So we have a snake. Anyway,
I saw that.
Yeah, last week when I left here, I went to a pet store. I'm not going to say which one. Got a small mouse to feed the snake. And the guys knew, the people know it's a feeder mouse. They breed them pretty much to feed snakes. So then I go up to the register. They know what the mouse is for, but of course the register always asks, do you want to donate to living pets or something to help the pets live? I'm like, I'm buying a mouse to feed a snake, and you're asking me if I want to donate money to kill this mouse.
Wow.
Well, not kill this mouse.
So what you're trying to do is you're trying to get PETA on her ass. Is what you're trying to do. You're trying to say how humane it is. John, we got to talk about this after the program. I got to call HR right now, Matter of fact, let me talk to HR right now. What do you think? Go ahead with it. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, there we go.
You know
We're
what I
good.
mean? So
We're good.
yeah, I mean, but yeah, yeah, that's pretty bad. That is pretty bad. If you think about it, you're like, damn, I'm going to donate after we're just about to do this. Like, I can understand that.
That's why I hate going there.
Well, yeah, of course. That would really suck. Because you're trying to do what you need to do,
Hmm.
but they're trying to, you know what? I noticed something, by the way, while I think about it. A lot of stores have that where it
Yeah.
says donate to something, and you're like, do I really need to? Like, you feel bad if you don't, but then you're like, does it really go there? Because I was looking at something. Was it last year or year before? They had like a study of like donation camps, like where you donate to certain like charities and stuff,
Hmm.
and how they say like how much goes to that real charity. Man,
That flew.
yeah, that straw about killed me here. Um, but they were, I think a lot of the donations don't even make it there. I believe. I want to say, since we do have this thing called Google, um,
Well, I think if you're an establishment, like a chain type
yeah,
thing, like this pet store,
yeah,
and maybe large box stores.
hmm
I'm trying not to say names here.
yeah, I understand
I
that.
think those would go,
Yeah,
but like smaller areas, smaller non-chain. Not saying they don't,
yeah.
because I don't have proof, but you just don't know.
Well, we're going to look into that this weekend, so next weekend we'll have an answer for that. But I believe I saw it on. So I watched Fox 9 News out of Philadelphia. So there's always something interesting on there, and I think that's where I saw it at. I want to say they said something was like for every dollar, like 19 cents goes to it. Like, and I'm thinking to myself, I give someone a whole. Where's my other like 81 cents going? Like, I mean, if you have a million people, that means what? 81, $810,000 goes somewhere else instead of where it's supposed to go. Like, I mean, if it was like 81%, 19%.
90%.
So very, very different. Like I thought it was a unique story. I need to look into that more so we can talk about it maybe
Mhm.
next week.
Okay.
So okay.
Okay.
So,
Sounds good. Mhm.
Yeah. So anything else happened? I mean,
Got another PS5.
you did get another BS5.
Yeah, I ordered it direct off PlayStation website from PlayStation Direct.
How much was that?
Regular price.
Regular
I,
price.
I wasn't going on eBay or
Oh, okay.
the third-party sellers on Amazon. No way. 'Cause
No,
they
I don't blame you.
even though it's available now, people are still trying to sell them overpriced.
$700-900.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I'm just like, wow. Like, come on now.
So the reason I got that is because my wife started playing under my PlayStation account, Hogwarts,
Yeah.
and well, I couldn't play at the same time, or I couldn't play
Yeah.
because she was using it. So I bought one for me to play. Unfortunately, you can't play on the same PlayStation account at the same time.
You can.
Cannot.
You can't. Okay.
I did not know that because I never needed to.
Yeah.
So it's not like I ran into that problem before. But there is a hack. Take one of those PlayStations offline, and you can
Yeah.
both play at the same time.
Well, there you go.
Yes.
There you go.
But reason I wanted to mention that is because I had the fastest shipping ever.
Really. One day.
24 hours, less than 24 hours from the time I purchased it
Mm-hmm.
to the time it came in. And it was giving me 3 to 4 business days time frame.
So, man, the wind is
Oh yeah.
rearing its ugly head right now, which is fine. That means if you hear any wind, we're in it. As you hear the wind chimes telling us it's windy outside, which I don't think we need to hear him. But anyway, so a lot of delivery companies, as I've learned through my the business I
Right.
do, we try to give an extra couple days
Mm-hmm.
so the customer don't get mad.
Oh no.
Because a lot of times, man, I mean, I'll give a class example. I've delivered pieces, and they're like, well, they said it was going to be here next week, Wednesday, and it's like a Thursday of the week before. And I'm like, well, sometimes they get it out a little bit quicker. And that's a good thing, though. That's a good thing. But also at the same time, continuously doing that as a delivery company, the people that order expect it.
They start to expect
And
it
then you
over
get
and-
into a problem because then they'll sit there and it'll be, well, it was supposed to be here Wednesday of next week, but I seen it came into Baltimore, and I'm like, I understand, but we're over. We don't have enough drivers to send out,
Mm-hmm.
or we have like a quota or something like that. And they'll be like, well, I'm just wondering, and it just becomes worse and worse.
Yeah.
And then you get complaints, and the complaints are always ugly. Oh my God, they're so ugly. Some of them, like,
Oh, I'm sure.
well, it don't help. So listen, I am for, I'm all about giving opportunity to anybody and everybody in the world. But at the same time, you need to understand if you have a United States citizen that's calling, the guy on the other side is not speaking well English, it's not going to go well. Like, it does not go well at all. Because, one, there's a language barrier. Two, neither of them really understand each other. And three, it just goes bad. Like, literally. I mean, our customer service is, and I shouldn't say this, but I am. I think our customer service is one of the worst in the world. Like, honestly. Because, like, it's all over the place. And you get a certain, it's not like, okay, you're from the United States, I'm going to get a United States person that's, going to answer this phone. And a lot of times that don't happen. So then it becomes more of an issue. And then they get frustrated. They get cussing. And trust me, most of the complaints are cussing, I'm pretty sure. We get it watered down a little bit, and then we got to water it down more. So, like, I'm pretty sure it's pretty rough. So, like, I feel bad for the customer service, but I also feel bad for the customer, too.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're dealing with this, they're mad already. Their stuff hasn't come in. And this person on the other line is trying to help them and trying to be nice about it, but at the same time, it's not helping the matter because there's that language barrier.
Yeah.
So call it what it is. That's what best terminology I'll say.
Yeah.
Call it what it is.
Hell, that language barrier could be from someone in the U.S. because I've heard some people from the U.S. speak.
Yeah, well, so I deal with people all over the world.
Yeah. Well, your company, of
Yeah,
course.
my company, of course. So I'll get emails 1, 2 in the morning. I won't see them until like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. And I'm just like, so I'm going to send this email. They're asleep at 9 o'clock at night. I'm here at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm not going to get an answer until the next day. So it sucks so much because you're sending emails and you're like looking, just kind of, okay, hopefully they'll send. And then all of a sudden, like at 6:30 once in a while, you see this email from, I don't know, Japan or like South Korea. You're like, oh, okay, and then they got to interpret it and all that stuff, which it's kind of fun to do that because sometimes my emails, like I'll get like 2-line emails and it'll take me 20 minutes to figure out what they're talking about. So like that's fun stuff for me because I got nothing better to do.
Yeah.
I guess you kind of say as long as the drivers do good, I ain't got to worry about I got downtime.
Right.
But if they're doing bad, man, trust me, that the email lights up like a Christmas tree.
Oh, I'm sure.
Mean, it's bad too. And the Christmas is even worse because there's always emails coming in all the time. So
I didn't get my part. The driver was an asshole to me.
I had a this was I would say probably about a year and a half ago, maybe a little bit longer, but I had a complaint, no names, no nothing, but the driver went into the yard. Now, I knew where the yard was. It was over in Chestertown.
Mm-hmm.
It's a long lane and it's dirt. And when it rains, it muds up. So to go through there, you're going to sit there and get a little mud here and there.
Yeah.
Well, whatever the driver did, I guess he decided that he couldn't turn around because if he turns around, he sinks into the grass. Totally understand. One way in, don't have much room to move. You mind your back all the way up. Backs all the way up, gets to the end, and I guess he cut it real close to this little ditch line. And it was like this, maybe like a foot, maybe 2 foot from the like where the ditch starts.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess he kind of like gunned it real quick because I guess there was a car coming, whatever, and he tilled a little bit of grass up. Nothing really bad. This woman was just belligerent, just straight off the reel. I want you to come over here. You need to clean this up. This is your problem. Technically that's state problem because I do believe, I know in Delaware it's 40 foot from the roadway, in the middle of the roadway, I believe is the rule that the state owns, technically.
Mm.
But still, like we still went over there and cleaned it up. But I
Right.
mean, it happens a lot. Like don't blame us. It's not even us. Like we had one last week. Of course, it was in Easton. You know, and I ain't gonna say no more when I say Easton. You know what I mean? You know what you're dealing with when you get with Easton people. And no offense, but it was out towards the St. Michael's area.
Mm.
So that probably puts in your mind what you're dealing with. And we got blamed for something we didn't do, honestly. And then when my boss went out there and looked at it, he was like, well, that's like a regular car, truck, tires. We got like a 24-foot box truck. Like, you could tell the difference. And there was a big difference, you know what I mean? Because if the 24 box truck would have went in, man, he would have
Mm.
never got out. Because they're heavy as hell. So always something, man. Like work and all that. Like my week was kind of boring. Like it really was. Like I'm glad it was. You know.
But I heard from you that someone requested we have Russell back.
Yes, that reminds me. So I um I got a text. Well, not a text. It would be a message, and they asked for Russell back. I'm going to talk to him, see what he has to say. If anybody else agrees with that, that's fine. I like Russell a lot. A little strange, but it's okay. But he can be fun, enjoyable, exciting, and I mean he brings a third aspect in because he does a lot of traveling. And he's got a lot of stories with him too.
Yeah, yeah.
Some good and funny stories. But I mean, I know we're boring. We're not good enough for you guys, but that's okay. I'll pout over here later. But I mean, that's fine. That's something that we could definitely look into. See what his work schedule is if he wants to come over and do a couple of them.
Hmm.
What's for hey, we can have our own little I guess fan club for Russell. I'm Russell's number one fan. You know what I mean? Or
As long
something.
as he starts sharing the damn thing.
Yes, yes. I'll talk to Russell about that too. I forgot all about it. I got involved with some emails yesterday, and when you text me, I was like, and then I was thinking about next Friday because next Friday is kind of a big deal to a certain degree. We are going to start doing our location find
Hmm.
to look where we want to place our business, to where we want to grow our business and become prosper. It's very big for us because then we are also going for our business license um, and our business name and everything. So like it's going to be a big deal because it's not just like, hey, how you doing? Are you all right? Got any digestion?
Oh yeah.
You're not going to heart attack on me?
No, no.
Don't stroke on me, man. Please don't stroke on me. I don't want you to stroke on me. Whatever you
No.
do, you know what I mean? Pretty good, I would say. So, gentleman's walking the dog. That dog is so small.
He's gonna fly.
Yeah.
That wind
Yeah,
picks
he
up,
could.
he's gonna fly.
I was talking about that. So the little dog out here, Bear,
Mm.
was sitting there, and I guess it happened a couple of years ago. The little girl, um, got her Bear in the back with the little girl, and all of a sudden they start driving down the road, and oh, Bear just jumped out the window. Literally, just jumped out the window and sat on the road, waiting for him to come back. So it could happen. It could fly. So what was I gonna say? I forgot what I was saying now. Um,
I have no idea what you were
I
talking
was
about.
saying something, but anyway, we'll just go whatever. Because it's all that's the worst part. I have an idea what I'm talking about, and it goes out the window.
Talking about the business.
Yeah, yes,
Friday.
business, yes. So me and John Friday are going to go riding around, looking for spots in the Kent County area, Sussex County, maybe even Newcastle. All day event for us. Maybe not so exciting for you guys. I mean, we might even put those little mics to use that you have and
Mm.
talk about certain things that we're looking for or something like that. So you guys understand like where we're coming from, what we're looking at. It'll also be something we can also talk about that down the road. This is where the start began. Um, the start began technically before then, but this is the next step. And with the next step, it's starting to put all the marbles in, which is at the same time very risky for both of us because we're risking all of our livelihood at the end of the day. Because if it goes good, hey, we're great. We're going to be prospering. We're going to have a great time. If not, well, all I can say is to spawn a couple woods because that's where we're going. You know. So
Which, by the way, you didn't tell me. Um, I asked about Friday. You said wait on that until you're sure.
well, I'm not 100% sure, but we're gonna roll with it. We're gonna say
Okay.
we're sure. Okay.
We're gonna say for sure. Okay.
So, you know, my person in the office has been sick lately, so they haven't been coming in, unfortunately. So, but we work around people like that, you know, when they have problems. So, like, you know, hope you get better, definitely, because you need to be in on Friday because I got things to do, okay? I know you're listening, so for damn sure, you better be there. But, no, I figured Friday's going to be the day. Like, we're going to have to do it. We can't, I don't feel we can hold back anymore because if we hold back, we're going to miss.
Yeah.
And I don't want to miss. And it's a very, yeah, that's another thing I was going to say. So I've spoke to a few people that don't really belong in a circle per se, or not really friends, but people that I kind of know a little bit.
Acquaintances.
Best word probably to use, and they're very astonished that that's what we're going for. Very hopeful actually. I've had 4 out of the 5 say they'd be the first customer if they could. You know what I mean? So that's very, you know, a telltale about where we're going, how it's unique, how it's going to be the first around here, and you know, I just keep hyping it up in my mind that you know, when we do this, you know, where we're going to be, and knowing that you know, so many people that are going to go out there and not even realize that there's a podcast attached to it, or this is where it all started. Because I'm not saying that I'm gonna say it. The podcast was a catalyst to where we're at, and it's gonna, even though it might not be the biggest podcast in the world, it might be the smallest. I don't think so, but still, it brought a way of thought pattern of, hey, we can do something that we enjoy, and we can do better, and we can aspire to do more. And instead of being at a job that I'm not saying we hate, that, you know, it fills our needs for, you know, living and family, we can also do more than that. And we can actually become our own entrepreneurs. Being an entrepreneur is harder than I think people realize. You know, people say, you know, you got to give all and, you know, you got to sacrifice things. You do. But at the same time, you know, I think it's risky mentally that all it takes is one blow and everything's gone. You know, and then you worry about, well, I left that place. Will they take me back? You know what I mean? So, I mean, there's a lot to it. You know what I mean? So, I mean, overall, I think Friday will be a good day. I think it's going to go really well. I think you're gonna have pen and paper, right? You don't have that already, or you're going to use your computer?
I will have both.
You have both on you.
Yeah, I can bring my computer, but I'll more than likely have a notebook and a pen.
Gotcha. I think it's going to be I think it's going to be a lot of I think we'll have, you know, agreements and disagreements because of some fact this is all, you know, thoughts. You know, what we're going to do and how, well, not what we're going to do, where we're going to put it, because that's the biggest, you know, it's all about traffic. It's all about, you know, where can you get the bang for your buck, you know. And I'm not saying that we can't put it in the middle of, like, I don't know, a field and won't gross anything, but we want to at least have it close to by, and it's going to be family entertainment to a point, you know, and it's going to help others as well. So, like, you know, overall, the scale of things, Friday will be the day. I'm not sure what time you want to start it, but that would be the biggest thing.
If I'm taking off, I don't care what time you start.
I'll just start in the morning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Take all day to figure everything out.
oh yeah, because it's going to be a lot of driving.
It's going to be a lot of driving.
It's going to be a lot of driving. And then we also got to do finders, because I think we need to prep for that of where we want to go. Not just, hey, let's go down to Rehoboth and have a day off. You know what I mean? Like, you know, because that's what, in a year's time, I would like to be down there. But I don't foresee us being down there right at the gate because it's so expensive. I mean, like, people don't, like, you know, I never realized how expensive it is to just lease a building.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I get it, though. Like, you got a house payment. Your house payment is usually, I don't know, well, what's the average, what, $1,200, maybe $1,300 on a house payment on an average.
Well, it depends on the house. I mean, I'm sure yours is more than that,
Just a
as
tad.
is mine.
Just a
Yeah.
tad. Okay, just a tad.
So we'll rough it up to about 1,500.
We'll go with 1,500. I'm cool with that. So $1,500. So a commercial building is usually 2 to 4 times that amount that's on a low scale. I've seen where some of the places are like almost like $160,000, for a year of rental, and that's expensive, man. Like, I mean, if you're going into a new business, that's just not money falling off a tree. You know what I mean? That's like, you got to have someone back you, or you have the money, and then not including the inventory you got to have and all that stuff. So it's going to be very expensive. I think our initial fee or everything is probably going to end up like 150. That's what I'm thinking. I could be wrong, because I think the rental is going to take most of it.
Yeah.
And all the rest can be done pretty much doing the right, going through the right company to get the right stuff and what we're going to use in there and all that stuff. So, I mean, we'll definitely say. But, I mean, definitely, I guess I got to, do you want me in a suit and tie, or what do you want me in? Well, you want to look like business partner. You're like, hey, how you doing, sir? You know what I mean?
Well, I don't think we need a suit and tie to look for a building. When we go in for the LLC.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
We got to look good. Yeah, definitely. Well, it's going to be the same day.
Well, I'm wearing this polo and khakis.
I guess I ain't wearing this. Slides with sweatpants and a hoodie is not going to work that day. So I guess I'm going to have to look into my closet, deep into my closet, or make a purchase to make it look right, which is fine. I mean, matter of fact, I don't even know what the weather's supposed to be Friday. Do we even know?
I think it's 40s.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I don't think it's supposed to rain.
Are you on the Weather Channel on that?
No, I just look on the app on the iPhone.
Is it better?
It's about the same. Actually, Friday's low of 29 and high of 48.
I got 47.35 on Friday, 47.39 with showers on Saturday, which is about 6 degrees lower than what it is today. That's not too bad. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. That's how I got to say it. But, go ahead.
I'll just wear my jacket next time. If it wasn't for the wind, I'd be okay here. But
well, that's the problem. Are you getting cold?
Just when the wind blows, and then I'm fine.
That's what she said.
But I'm pumped.
Yes, it was dry, man. It was dry.
It was very dry.
It was dry. It was, dad jokes and all. But I mean, overall, we're excited. I know we don't sound it, but it's very exciting to know that this next coming of what this is becoming of the podcast to the next realm of the podcast of being into a business per se. Not per se the podcast, but it made the intro into the business. So we'll definitely, hopefully in a year's time, we have our own business and we will be doing the podcast in there. Like we are right inside. That's how we're going to do it. No wind, no rain, no snow, no hail, no cold, no nothing. But I still believe we should do the podcast every once in a while outside if it's hot.
Oh, yeah.
But I got to say there has to be a degree. Like, if it's above 75, I am not going outside. I think that's way too hot.
So in the 60s.
I like the 70s.
Just under 75.
Just under 75 is fine. Once it's past 75, I'm ready to retreat into a room. You know what I mean? Unless there's a nice little breeze. Not like this kind of breeze, but like a light breeze. I'm cool with that.
Well, 75 wouldn't be bad if there wasn't any humidity. But, of course, we're on an island.
We are on an island. Yes, we are. And, just keep that in mind, people. The Isle of Delmarva does exist, even though there is a couple bridges that attaches to another mainland. But still, I mean, and there's ships that go around us all the time. But, overall, it is what it is. So, to be honest with you, I'm probably going to say we wrap this up today. You know what I mean?
think we're good.
Yeah, not much we had to talk about. Next week, I need to get my shit together. We'll have a lot to talk about because we'll be out and about Friday. We'll have that to talk about, and who knows, we might have a special guest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe someone else, maybe someone different. You know what I mean? Maybe it'll be, my next door neighbor. You know what I mean? which he is very interesting. We won't get into what he does,
Mm-hmm.
but he is a very what would you call it?
Connected man.
Yes, connected man. Legit, legal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's keep that. Let's keep that. Let's keep that.
Legitimately
Legit, yeah,
connected.
connected. Let's keep that real there. Or we might have the person next door. I don't know, across the street or stuff like that. Because I mean, to be honest with you, with the people that live around us, well, me, they're all got something in the past that they have, done. That has been very, it's actually you could look at it and see it on the internet what they've done.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's not like they're like me, like a Peabody. I mean, no one. But I mean, it is what it is.
Hmm.
So, but like I'm gonna say, with it windy, we're gonna cut it close, cut it short today. Next weekend we'll have an extra long one, hopefully an hour and a half. That's what I'm thinking. We'll make up for the time.
Yeah, we'll see.
Listen, we'll go at least an hour, I promise. But we got a lot of things we're doing today, a lot of things we're doing tonight. So, anything else you got to say?
No, that's it. Just don't forget, we are on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, all your major podcast websites, apps.
We are on every it's when you sit back and think about it and stuff, everything like that. We talk about, we're on this. It starts to realize and resonate that anybody in the world could hear us.
Yep.
And then I think to myself, after the podcast last week, people said I had a very sensual voice.
Oh, because
They
you
said,
because you wanted
I
cupcakes.
want those cupcakes so bad. You know what I mean? So maybe I'm going to start using that inside voice, sensual voice. Maybe, maybe there'll be an old lady out there be like, I want to be a sugar mama. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Jeez.
So I don't know. We'll just run with that the way it is. But it is what it is. And, we're still on, so we're doing it up right. So
Yep, haters or not, we're
yes,
here.
yes. So from me, Ron,
And me, John.
have a very inside, non-windy day like we did.
And have a good night.